How did I get here first?
There's Tom. Okay, Tom, just making sure that people in the other office are all set over here too. Okay, so I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Hey again, Tom.
Hey, Miss Kelly, how are you today?
Good. I just sneaked my lunch in on the last call. Hate eating on Zoom.
I know what you mean. Oh, man.
I didn't realize that wasn't, it didn't seem like that was intended more for agents. I didn't realize that. I still think it's helpful information, but.
Very helpful. Very helpful.
Yeah.
I still can't understand why they added water to that septic sewer form. There's nothing down there that says anything about it's on a private well versus a city water system. So it just seems to me like it's a messed up form.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
What do I know?
Pull my MLS up.
Hi, Spot. Hello.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Laptop, you can pull it up because it's sounding right onto the MLS. So you can like follow along or click along. Yep, meeting started.
And we need to hustle. U.S. Open's on TV.
Okay, well then we'll have to just have time to follow. They're still catching up.
I think this is going to be a small class.
Looks like it. One-on-one.
Come here. Come here. Come here.
Come here. No, I'm not going. Not there.
All right, let's get started. How's everybody doing?
Good, Rob. How you doing?
Good, good. I'm doing great. I have nothing to complain about.
Good.
All right, so today's class, is the MLS class. So this is interactive. You can ask me any questions. I've kind of just had some, I know where to click on some buttons because I just played with it a long time. So we'll kind of go over just some tips and tricks on how to use it, where to click, some of the resources that Canopy MLS gives you, how to update your information, make sure you're marketing all your types of stuff. I'll show you how to work that search bar and how to search for properties, how to save a search for a buyer so they can automatically get emails for whatever type of criteria they're looking for. And then real quick, we'll talk about the fees. I have that slide, and the super key, how you download that app and use that to schedule showings. So let's get things started here. I'm going to share my screen, sign on to the MLS. This is what I want. Okay, here's the first thing I just wanted to talk about with Canopy MLS. This is what their dues are and what they cost. When you join Keller Williams, you have to join the National Association of Realtors. and that also connects you with the state, North Carolina, and the local canopy. So it's $520 a year. The MLS fees is $165 or $225 a quarter with the MLS and Super Keys. That's when they're invoiced. The Super Key fee is $30 a quarter. So this makes these fees give you access to the National Association of Realtors websites and all access to that types of resources that they give as well. So, and you're able to use the Realtor with that logo to advertise and use that in your marketing because you are a realtor.
What's the difference between the 165 and the 225?
I want to say the 225 is what I have to pay as the member
Or broker?
and
Okay.
165 is the member associate, what you guys are, affiliate.
Got it.
So I don't know why that's on there, but maybe is what's and then so I know well the Super Key also that's $30 a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be one. So it's usually like $195 a quarter if you're just an agent.
Do we pay a monthly fee for Supra app?
No, I think that's quarterly. That's that quarterly fee. Yep. Okay, so signing on to the MLS Canopy. From the Canopy MLS, you have your sign-on username is your license number, and then this takes you to this page here. This is the updated page of Canopy for all their resources, where you have you can basically just see everything on here. Quick links. I'm going to sign on here first, where you click on Matrix, and that takes us to the MLS. Then I'm going to show you the resources through the MLS page. But Matrix takes you to the MLS, and that's where we're at here. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is making sure that you're setting up all your information and marketing yourself and setting up your profile. So when you click over here, working as who you are when you're set in, you're going to go into settings. Okay, then this pulls up all your information, my information, kind of your setup sheet, some sharing. So mine says identity sharing because I had a username for a Pet at Home team, and I had my admin sign in underneath that. So most of you guys won't have identity sharing, but that's what that states for. So you want to click over here, my information, manage your personal branding, and then this is where you're going to follow these headers here going across. So this information is where you want to make sure you have all your updated name, website, phone number, cell phone, address, everything that you need there to have all your contact information. And then just keep sliding over and make sure these are all set. If you have a logo, you can put a logo up, a photo, pick the colors. So this is when we set up buyer searches, and it goes out. This is what it's sent to them. So you want to make sure you brand that with all of your information. CMA cover sheet. Here's my email signature. And you can upload logos and stuff like that. I removed my logo because I was the broker in charge, so I didn't need my Pet at Home team logo there. But you can upload all this information. So make sure you have your information right. So because also people are searching you, other agents are searching for you. They want to pull up your name. They need to contact you or something like that. Make sure this information is correct. Okay, so that's again just clicking on your name in settings and setting that up. All right, now we're going to slide over here. Let's talk about resources. These are all the resources that you get for when you pay to be a member of Canopy MLS. When we signed on that first page in all those big boxes, this is kind of where they are. Those are other links as well. But just starting up top here, a lot of people don't even know these are available. But when you click on just that resource buttons, here's a bunch of local tools that you can use. Other Canopy MLS forms. We have all the forms in DocuSign, but where are they? Where do they come from? I get them right from here. Let's see here. So let's go to Realtor tools that you can use. Inman Select. That's like a real estate articles that you can get. A lot of good articles there that you get like just about technology. You get stuff learning about teams, how to generate leads, just a way to learn. So click on Inman Select and you have a free profile with that, and you can read those articles. If you have your own website, that's where you get your paperwork here. That's from List Hub. Rate Plug, that's a preferred mortgage lending tool. You can click on that, and that if you have a listing, you can link it to a listing, and it shows current market rates and what a possible payment would be with principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Realist Tax Research, that's what takes you to the tax assessor's record, public records. Should always print that out and verify who the owner's name is on title. That's where it pulls that information from. Now, Realtor.com and RPR, those are two websites. So here's the website you want to go to. It's NAR RPR, Realtor Property Resource. See it right here. And it's like the tax assessors, the public information on a property, but for realtors. So you can pull mortgage information there. You can pull foreclosure information there. It all shows the tax records. It shows square footage, bedrooms, baths, and also shows a value as well. So this link, RPR, is a really good source for you to click and link on. I don't know if I have my stuff saved on here, but just and you have a free resource to this. Good, I'm already in. So RPR pulls all the information. So say you're going on a listing appointment, you want to go to this website and click and link at that. Just pulling up a house, and look, here's a potential house. So this is the difference. This site just shows a little bit more detailed information on living area, square footage, estimated price per price per square foot. Shows the map, homeowners information, square footage stuff, values. It doesn't mean that's what the value is. It's just a good indicator to look at. With schools, legal description, parcel ID numbers. So this type of information is important to look at. And that's you can just get more detailed information when you go to that website. That's NAR RPR. That's one of your resources that's available to you as a realtor. Showing time, you need to make sure you go into Showing Time and set up your profile on that as well too. That's how when you schedule all your showings, or when you get a listing, that's so you download that app and you can get feedback. You can schedule your showings from Showing Time. So you can go right on that link. This is a part of your resources. A statistical analysis module, a SAM report. Now, if you're big into numbers and you want to know, like, I think you can put like what's the price per square foot, what type of people are buying houses in here, like income ranges, and this zip code, what should you expect for this price, for this sale, for this listing. So you click on that if you really want to get into some numbers. That's the statistical analysis module, SAM report. So that's under resources. You want to just go there and play with that if you want to study and learn some numbers. I won't get into that because that can be pretty boring. Supra, that's going to be if you have a lockbox, you're able to update your Supra boxes. Zip forms, if you click on Zip forms, you have access to all the North Carolina documents in there as well. And let's look down here, just scrolling down, other realtor partners that we have. So these are, you have access to a cloud CMA. Separate fees may apply, but I'm sure you have some sort of discount on that. Fine Homes and Design, some of these local news reports, Realtor.com. So Realtor.com links to our MLS every 15 minutes. So if you make a price change and you look, it'll link to Realtor.com on the app and on the online in 15 minutes. So that's the most accurate one. So like if Zillow, if you make a price change in the MLS, it could take up to a day for Zillow. So Realtor.com was always my most accurate one. I downloaded that app. I always made sure my profile looked really good on Realtor.com, phone number, cell phone, good logo, and stuff like that. So Realtor.com is an important website because it links to the MLS and it's branded by the National Association of Realtors. Zillow, we have an agreement with Zillow. Our listings go there. Someone made a point the other day. Why do we get our listings, and then put them on Zillow, and then pay to get buyer leads from Zillow from our own listings. Right? Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying there? Like, okay, right. So like, why would a realtor pay Zillow to get, I mean, it's just, but people do, it works. I know Matt Saunders group does, and they sell a lot of money. They sell a lot of property. But that, like, some people can't, they were like, well, why would I do that? You don't have to pay Zillow to get leads. Realtor.com, you can pay Realtor.com to get leads and zip codes on that. So you can pick and choose websites. But we have that agreement with Zillow. Guess what? A lot of people go to Zillow. So why not market them? But again, you don't have to. And then these other websites here, the one I want to point out is the school sites. Someone says, hey, what school district is that? What's a good school district? Or what can I do? Where's a good area to look? Look at that, school sites. It breaks it down in every single school, every single county, every single property, every single one. Let's look at Iredell Statesville. Click on that, Iredell Statesville, that's like up in Mooresville or not. Boom, you click on that link, takes you to the website for that, and then you can do all your research on this site. That is a really cool link, especially for a buyer's agent. So school systems are all available right from the MLS under resources on school sites. And then tax and GIS websites, that gives you more information on the properties you want to find out. Tax and sites in different counties and properties, go to that. All right, so these are a lot of resources, and most of them are free. So it's a matter of you just going on there, clicking on them, playing on them, reading those Inman articles, and just continuously going on here, making sure you're just staying up to date with the information, because a lot of it's free. So take advantage of these tools. All right, let's go back home, and let's just say we want to search for a property. All right, so we want to search for all properties. Say someone says, hey, I want to move to Mooresville. I want to search for property in Harris Village. How do I do that? All right, so we're going to look right at, we're following these buttons up top here, search, and you can change different criteria, but you're going to go through residential. This is going to take you to all properties of single family homes. We're just saying that that's what they want. And then it comes up to the search criteria over here. So you can select different areas. So say right now I just said that we're searching for properties for a buyer. So we want to know all the properties that are available. We want to see active and coming soon. And we can put them in subdivisions, because a lot of people are searching by subdivisions. You can search by the city right here. So, hey, I want to see any property in Huntersville, or, you know, depending on what they're looking for, you can search by price points. My suggestion is to search not put in too much criteria. Like, don't put in, they need they need at least 3 baths, or they need at least 4 baths, whatever it is too specific. Like, try and search square footage or just areas and look at everything, and then you can eliminate. Yes, if someone says I need 3 bathrooms, yes, of course. But if someone says I need I need at least 2 bathrooms, when you don't put as specific stuff and you look range, you won't eliminate some things. That's just why I'm saying don't be as specific. Look at everything that comes in, and then you can take things out. But let's say someone wants to look at properties in Harris Village. So subdivisions pulls up every single property. I just want to see what's active. I didn't put any price point. And these 3 buttons over here, there's your criteria. This shows the map of where they're located. So to make sure you're looking in the right spot. So that's in this development. And then let's look at these results. These are active. These are homes for sale, all in Harris Village. 2 coming soons and 1 already active. And if you noticed, I look, this is my house in my neighborhood. When I showed the house on NAR, that was my house. So Harris Village, that's where I look. I'm interested in seeing what these houses are coming on at. 340. And let's see what the next one is. This is 2 houses down from me. Boy, I hope they get 305. Great. It's cool seeing. So I have a saved search on this for all the, like where I live, just for my own information. But buyers will come down here and say, like, I only want to live in Harris Village, or they'll come here and point, I only want to live in the Point. I only want to live in the Peninsula. So whatever it is, whatever that subdivision is, be familiar with them, and learn how to be able to search through subdivisions. Or if we want to go back and change our criteria, say if someone says, I want to live within 5 miles of, let's say, our office, 197, 19721 Bethel Church Road. So, hey, I work at this doctor's office. I want to live wherever. I want to live at least 2 miles from a certain place. Okay, there's 37 listings. Now I didn't put in some more criteria. Now this would be a good time to put in price point. So what are you qualified for? All right, I'm qualified for, let's say they're qualified for 500,000. Okay, so what I would want to do, I'm going to do a range of 50,000 below and 50,000 above. There's only 2 properties there, right? Let's do a different range. You can get a smaller number. Well, okay, so 800. So if you have, you want to live within 2 miles of this office for 850,000 plus thousand, you would look, and here's your map, and it does it automatically. The red is your subject property. So you can search by area too. But I've heard people say, I want to live within a certain range of where my children live. I want to live certain miles away from where the highway is. I want quick highway access. So you can do directions and type of stuff like that for criteria. Now, one other thing I'll show you for criteria. If you search on the map, and now I did this the other day with one of our agents. She said they want to live on the lake, but they want to live like close to a main channel. So we had some properties, and they all came up. This is, look, over 1,000 of them. But then we pressed this button right here, this pencil, draw it freehand, and we just did this. Held it down, dragged it over to be as specific as possible. And I got 30 of them there. So you can be specific what you want with a range, a miles, a subdivision, or draw it out. And then here are some properties that'll come up. All right, so you got to play with doing some searches. Now, if you're doing a market analysis and you want to determine some comps for a property, I always did it by the map. So I'd always put the subject property in here. Say I'm going to my house. So that's the house that you're going to on a listing appointment. There ain't no $150,000 houses in there. So I want to see everything. If I'm going on a listing appointment, I want to see everything. That's a lot. So I can go, that's 67 of them. But if I did them 1 mile from my house, there's 13 of them, right? So if I'm going on a listing appointment, I want to see everything. I'll eliminate them. I'll pull the right comps that I need when I'm looking at price, but I should know pretty much everything that's available within a mile. Whether they're in the subdivision or not, I'm going to get my price when I go. I'm going to do the properties that are in the subdivision, but I should be aware that there are houses across the street over here that are selling that aren't in the subdivision but are getting that price. Okay, so that's how we're searching for properties. The criteria that comes up. say we have the results, and then now we have our results. What's going to saving a search for a prospective buyer? Well, actually, let me stop right here. Does anybody have any questions so far with what we've gone up to, like searching so far? Anybody in Zoom land? No? Okay. Doing good over here, guys? Doing well? Okay. My fancy LaCroix. All right. All right, so now we have well, let me just go back and change that criteria. So say somebody wants to have, they want to see all the properties in Harris Village, all active properties and coming soon as they come on. We're not putting a price point because they want to move into that division. If you picked a bigger house, a bigger subdivision, like, let me see. So that's on Pennington Meadow. They have none. Oh, let me just go back and just do Harris Village. Okay, so we know somebody wants to move into Harris Village, or we drew an area, or they said anything waterfront. Okay, well, we have our results. These are your active and coming soon properties. What we're gonna do is we're down here. We're gonna click on save. And when we do save, we have either a new save search, new auto email, or new speed bar shortcut. So we're gonna do a new save search. And this is where you can keep your client's name, your client contact information in here. And you can name the search Harris Village. Okay, so that saves that search. All properties for sale. And then now we're going to click over here, new auto email. This is where we're going to set it up on how often we want the client to get emails. So client, they're already in there. You're just basically putting in their email, and you want a blind carbon copy. And you can upload that. That's not our criteria. This is homes in Harris Village. Okay, so you have a welcome email, and you can set up that all over there. But when you click your recurring email, that's what that comes up there. So they're going to get that, and here's your criteria. Now this is where you want to set up your schedule on when the client wants to get the property or the email. You can set it up for as soon as possible. As soon as the property comes available, boom, you get an email. You can set it up where daily emails are only sent in the morning or sent in the night. I mean, some people don't want to get bombarded with hundreds of emails if they're looking for all properties in Mooresville. They'll get bombarded, they'll get hit. So some people do and some people don't. So it's up to the client. You can send it up whenever you want, but the good thing is when you blind carbon copy yourself, every time they get an email, you know. So they get to click on that. It shows their reports. They get to click favorites on that, and that allows you to give you a reason to call them. Hey, I saw that property that came out was emailed out to you. Take a look at it. Just gives you an opportunity to call them and give them a conversation.
So I have an auto email set up for a client, and I didn't realize that this was in place, but I guess they looked at a property that's somebody in the office has.
Okay.
And so I got an email from that agent saying, hey, just checking in, what's going on with that.
So that client asked for more information on that property?
I'm not sure if they asked for more information necessarily or if they just clicked on it.
Okay.
So is that a system we have in place where?
I'm trying to think. It sounds like, and so the agent called you and said,
Yeah,
how's the buyer, Barbara? Like, what's she going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe Barbara called them because if they have all this information, sometimes they just don't know. So like,
Rob,
let me
I got an email this weekend, and it was, I think, a reverse prospecting email.
Yep.
It was actually one that I set up for myself to practice through the MLS, and because I clicked on it, I got an email from an agent asking me if my buyer was interested in the property. I was like, oh, actually, it was just me. So that's somewhere we can click in here for the reverse prospecting, right?
Yeah, that could have been it.
That sounds more.
That's a good point. Okay, so good.
Yeah.
So when you have that's when you put your buyer clients in here in the MLS with their criteria. Then when a listing comes up that fits that criteria, and you go on the listing and there's a button that says reverse prospecting, the agent's name comes up.
So say if I have a listing and Kelly sends out a automatic email to her client, and my listing was on her list, I would hit reverse prospect, and it would show me that.
It shows you that her client, Kelly has a client that fits the criteria of your listing.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Well, good. Well, that's the point of it. So that's why when you save that search criteria for people, like, hey, you get anybody that gets a listing in Harris Village, should sure as heck do that and call you and say, I get a listing in Harris Village. You have a buyer.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? That's just
will you show us at some point how to do that? Okay. The reverse prospect?
It does it automatically.
Oh.
So I'm just gonna find out where that button is.
Sorry, you did.
No, you're good. Because that's you're generating that. Okay. Now, if you have an active listing, I don't have an active listing, but right now you have an active listing. You pull it up and you go to the bottom of it. It's right here. See it's where it says reverse prospect.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then just a list of people would come up.
Oh.
So you have to go into individually those people. Like you could make one email and cut and paste it, but you have to go individual. You can't click. I haven't figured out how to do it yet. How to figure out set up one email to all these people, but you could individually do it. And also, there's another app when you make price changes in showing time. And that also gets emailed. Anybody, Tom? I got your emails when you made price changes on your listing from showing time. I don't think I had a buyer there. I must have I'm not sure why I got that, but that's something that also goes through that gets your listings out to everybody as well.
I think that's a notification. That's a send notifications feature in through showing time.
Through showing time, right? Okay.
That
so
you
when
do.
you're importing a listing.
Yeah.
A little different than this, but.
Yes, sir.
But right, it's another feature that you gotta remember. Okay, so that's reverse. So it's on the bottom of your active listing, reverse prospect. And again, so that the listing that will come up automatically. You have a listing, and I don't think you can do it the other way where you just do regular searches because they have that search and it gets. All right, so again, with that, I just ended there with that buyer search, the buyer portal. You can set it up during the AM or the PM. Just be on the same page as the person and let them, communicate with them however they want to be communicated with. Okay, the last thing that we're going to go over here is adding or editing your listing. So say you got a new listing, you're like, oh wow, what do I do now? All right, here we go. Add and edit. And we're going to add a new listing right here, add new. What type of category is it? It's either a single family, a condo, a multifamily, a piece of land, a commercial, or a rental. So say we're going single family. And then now you have options to fill it in. Now people will always say, how do I know what the parcel ID is? How do I know that? Well, let's link it right from the realist tax report. So you say fill from realist tax report, and then you just fill in the information, pick the county. County, and then it pops up right here. So if that person you're talking to, there's all that information. If that's the address, then when you click fill, it pre-fills a bunch of information. So what I'm going to be doing here is once I get here, I'm going through these steps here. You have to go through all of these ones here. So as I go through, you just have to fill everything in with where you're putting up the information, address, come over here, update the map. Okay, so we set that latitude and longitude. Find the subject property and you know where it's at. When you click that link, that's it right there. That's the one I'm using. So as you want to just go through here, go through all this information here, listing agent office. This is where you fill in your commission. This is where you put in your virtual tour. And you have to go through all the information here and check the boxes and fill it out. Features, and last but not least is your remarks. Okay, when your listings are ready to go, you go back to your status and you make it go active. Okay, and then, or you have a delayed marketing date. I better cancel this listing before my house goes on the market. I don't want to move. Okay, but that's how we do an add, and that's how you import a listing. To remove a listing, does anybody know how to take to make a listing go to withdrawn in the MLS? The only way you can make the listing go withdrawn is if you send the withdrawn termination form to the broker in charge. So you have a property, you can make it go active, and you have 3 days to make sure you upload your listing agreement to Command. You can make price changes, and you can put in open houses, and you can make it temporarily off the market, but you can't withdraw it. You have to send that over to the broker in charge. But you have access to all of your listings to make price changes and all that, and then you just follow up in Command with that proper paper.
Rob, for it to be expired, does that automatically happen just from the date that you put in there when you enter the listing?
Once it expires at midnight of that date, and it automatically goes out to expires. Yep. An expired contract, expired listing means that their listing contract is expired, so it's not valid. So you can call an expired listing and case that as a possible lead to make appointments. It happens automatically. That's why it happens automatically. So if you look on like the 30th or the 31st of any given month, because some people just say, I'll give you the end of the month, or I'll give you the end of September, October. The first of each month is usually a big number of expires. So especially on December 31st, a ton of them. January 1st, you get hundreds. But it doesn't, I mean, that's just if you're looking for big numbers for there. So that happens automatically and gets taken out. And let's see, that's pretty much about it. What your tips and tricks. Let's see, I've had people ask me like, oh, I just had a search and I forgot and I lost it. Like recent searches, this keeps track of a bunch of all the, like, what's that, good 15 or so searches that you've had in the past. So if you did a market analysis like yesterday, but you forgot the comps that you used, well, you can go back. Look at these ones here and check, oh yeah, there they are. They were the ones I was doing in Heritage Group. There they come up. Yes.
So can you walk us through how to find, so this is the scenario. I have a client who has a specific neighborhood that they want to live in. There's little to nothing available. So I want to contact homeowners in that neighborhood.
Okay.
So how do I pull that list of the address, the name of the owner, and just like, isn't there a list like?
Yeah, good idea. Okay. So you can search there you got to go through here through the realist tax search.
All right.
Okay, so that's going to take us to the tax record. Where now it's not going to give you phone numbers.
I have need a phone number.
It will give you,
address.
yep. There you go. It'll give you the owner's name and the map of where you're at. So. Okay, let me go back. So when you're here, you have the subject property. Okay, so you can go from the MLS and go on the realist tax report. And that takes you to the property, the subject property, but you don't want that one, right? You want to know the neighbor? Yeah.
Yeah, the neighborhood.
Yep. Yep. So I just clicked on that house. So like, this is the house that's actually for sale. Okay. And you want to know the neighbor or the next door neighbor? You just go in there. Yeah. Well, you'd have to go individually.
So, well,
Because that shows their name. So that's it. So this house on Dairy Farm, that's Michael and Nancy's stuff.
okay.
I'm sure there are other ways to get that,
um,
but you'd probably have to pay for it.
There was something I was looking at through productivity coaching in the file, but the example they gave how to pull this stuff up, it seems like the directions were a little outdated. So let me just
You might be able to, I know back in the day, I used to go on the post office's website, and I was able to find owner's information there as well.
Hey, Rob.
Yes?
What if you pull up the report on 143 Lamplighter, just pull it, view that report, and then it's not pulling up yet. Yeah. I thought when you there's a thing that says view report or something.
Oh, there it is.
And then it should give you neighbors, I think.
Well, it'll just give my name.
No, I think click on neighbors, neighborhood
Neighborhood profile?
not neighborhood profile, neighbors. And
Okay.
this will be a list of all the other parcels in the neighborhood, I believe.
Yeah, this might be exactly what we're looking for here. So we have a subject property, and I just clicked that's one of the tabs up top. So neighbors. We'll see if that shows all the names. And this comes up with a list of all the people there.
Oh, you may still have to pull it up individually, but I thought there was a way to get the list.
I found a way through the other day, but I was looking at this and I couldn't quite figure out how they did this. So this has the agent's name, the list office, the buyer. Oh, actually, I guess that's just agent's information. Hold on, sorry. Maybe that was just the agent's information. So. My mistake, sorry.
That's okay.
Combining- Yeah, I'm combining the farming names and the owner's names. I thought the owner's names were listed on that page.
Okay.
Never mind.
But still, access is, you can find neighborhood. So if someone wants to know about neighborhood profile in Harris Village, I guess this would be Mooresville with the population and stuff like that. But you want to get into numbers like that. It even shows house size, people with children, break it down age. So this is also type the information in that SAM report. It breaks it down. This is the type of people that live in that area and what they come up with usually about. And then that SAM report breaks that down more into like prices. So if you really want to know information about different areas in the towns, different between Mooresville and Huntersville and Cornelius, this is a good way to just kind of do some research. Right? It's just all about spying and figuring things out. This does the information for you. Sale price, high to low, and a median, price per square foot and stuff like that. So, when you're going to talk to a seller and you're justifying your value with this information, you're not making it up. So here it is. The thing changes daily, but here you go. You can justify, you talk to a seller, hey, how can you tell me you're going to give me $294? Well, based on this information here, this is what I have. This is directly from the MLS, updated as information that you have. This is value. Like when you're in front of somebody, this is a lot of value because they think they know it, but they really don't.
It kind of does it down and dirty for you instead of picking and choosing.
You're right. So good. It does it for you. So don't just rely on this. Still do the homework. So I always, you should look at it. Absolutely look at it. I mean, it gives you the answer, like price per square foot. But when I'm talking in front of the seller, I want to break it down a little bit more. So that's why I'd have something like this in the background, but I'd print out my MLS sheets and I would say, hey, this one's $221 a square foot. This one's $218 a square foot. And the difference is, well, look, this one's in the cul-de-sac. This one has all brick. Oh, that one has a pool, whatever it is. But you're looking at everything and it breaks it down. So I think I can get you this price because this home sold at this price per square foot. And then you have this stuff behind you that looks like you worked on forever. We just clicked a couple buttons, right? And it justifies, oh yeah, $2,000 a square foot. That's about right. That's where you're backing up with what you're saying with information. And like that SAM report for me was information overload. But for other people, they were like, hey, bring it on. I need it. So whatever works for you. But I mean, that's pretty clear right there. High, low, median, price per square foot. Here's your competition. Here's what's sold. You can think your house is worth $1 million, but you can ask whatever you want, but here's the market. How about we list it at $1 million and try it for 30 days. And then after that, if it doesn't work, we have no activity, we'll list it at my price. Okay, that's fair. Maybe. I've gotten listings that way, overpriced, 30 days later, good price reduction. You get the listing, get it under contract. Or now with your buyer, hey, I want to move into Harris Village. What do you think I should probably? I want to pay about I want to pay $230. Do you think I'll get into Harris Village? Probably not. You want to be realistic, or do you want to like play the what if game? Well, the lowest there is $236. So you better be qualified in that range if you want to make a move, because there's a lot of other people that you're not the only one that wants to move into that subdivision. So it's the same exact conversation when you're looking at the point. And if it's $1 million and $1.1 million, I mean, there's still going to be a high, a low, and a median and a price per square foot. Your amenities are different, right? You have a long range view, you have a nice dock, or you have a nice in-ground pool. But I mean, you're in $1 million. Most of those houses already have granite counters and they're already super nice up front. So you can adjust your amenities as a buyer's agent or a seller's agent by going over at the property and looking at it, and making some adjustments here based on true numbers that are coming out for properties that have sold within the past 6 months. That's why the values change every single month, because you can use new comps. All right, how are we doing here? What do you guys want me to talk about? Anything? Did I miss anything? What are some questions that you want me to go over here?
Well, I don't know how everybody is as far as where everybody is, how new and whatnot, but I learned something very valuable the other day, that when you go to print, or rather when you go to email a specific listing to somebody, there's a little box in the top left-hand corner that you have to check to email that listing, and I didn't know that. I'll just share that information.
Okay, so I have this
Next to
property.
the address, and I went to email it, and so the email went, but that listing wasn't attached to it. So I learned you have to check the box.
To making sure that that's what, yes, I understand what you're saying right here, so which I didn't. So like this.
Yeah, that box.
That's the listing I want to email,
Yeah,
highlighted.
and also, don't we have to change to client view?
Well, it depends on how you're viewing it. Correct. Right now we're looking at agent view, but
Right.
right.
But if you want to send that to client in the top.
Yeah. I think
I
that.
learned that.
I'm not sure why. Then we can do it with the print. Determine it. Well, she's talking about what type of view the agents get.
So even if you back up,
Or you could email it right there.
yeah, but at the top, where it says display, keep going to your right.
Okay, yeah.
There,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
drop
yeah.
that down.
Yep, I got you
There's
right
a
here.
client view.
Client full with photos. All right, thank
I
you for
was
sharing that.
frustrated because I couldn't understand why they weren't getting.
Okay, so check, good point. That's check, that's the one, that's the display, and then that's where it's going.
That's helpful. Thanks, Pam.
Yeah, right? See, but
I would have known that.
well, you know, it's frustrating now that it won't happen to you anymore. You'd be like, right? But sometimes it's just knowing where some of these silly buttons are, where they are. And then, you know, when they change, when you get used to it, Emma Canopy is going to say, we're going to change our format. And then this silly button is going to be over here. It's going to do the same thing, but it'll be on the other side. But thank you for sharing that. Okay. So when you select it, it highlights it and that gets emailed, that select, change that display so they're seeing the right one. And the difference between those displays real quick is like what you see at the bottom for amount of commission offered and stuff like that. So under agent full, that's going to give you all the information that you need as a buyer's agent. What are they offering for commission? What are they offering? And stuff like that. But for your clients, if they want something smaller, it's the thumbnail. Thumbnail just gives it small, real small. So it depends on how they want. You can go through each one of these top ones up here. I know I didn't click on every one, but click on each top. I mean, you can go through each one of these over here, setting up your stuff. It's just, there's several different ways to get to setting up an email and stuff like that. So it's a matter of which way you learn and which one you do. But you can do CMAs from here as well too, but all you can access to your saved searches, all that type of stuff with the MLS, but you just must play with it. Those features that I talked about are really just kind of your major features on how to get in here to find a property. Like, hey, I need to find a property. Let's put it in as easy as we can. You don't have to put, you don't put street or road or anything like that. That's what you just pull up. And that'll show the history of every time it's been on. So that's just this bar, this quick bar. Let's see if I put lane. Sometimes if you put too much information, nothing comes up. See, if I put 143 Lamplighter Lane, nothing comes up. So that's where sometimes less is more. All right, so I know Demetrius, you don't have MLS access yet. Do you? You don't either yet, or?
No, I paid the dues yesterday.
Oh, they whacked your card yesterday?
Yeah.
Then they'll be calling you soon because they just got Tony recently too. So you kept calling, so you just have to. They're inundated, so you should as long as they hit your card, they'll be notified. Yeah. Kelly had that same problem. She let them know and they got her.
Are they going to have? There's supposed to be some orientation.
Correct, and in ethics, yeah. I'll pull that up. What they'll send you. This is your email. So they'll finalize your processing of your payment. Congratulations. This and that. Find your orientation confirmation sheet. Online courses. You get it the next business day. It gives you access to it. So this is the email you want to look for. And then they say, because they'll send you your receipt because he must have been paid.
Yeah, I got the receipt. Then they're supposed to send the iLearn.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. From this, in the this right here. So look for that email, but that's what they'll get you. Welcome emails directly from Time Learn and stuff like that, real time. All right, if there's no other questions, guys have a good weekend.
Thanks,
Good
Rob.
job.
You too.
Appreciate
Bye.
it.
Bye, guys.